Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council of 12. We are appreciative for this opportunity to co-create with you here in this now moment. Our transmission today is regarding how to help your fellow humans to wake up, so to speak. Dear ones, we hear your cries. We feel your sorrow. But you cannot force anyone to grow in consciousness. The sorrow and pain you feel is because you are not understanding what is actually happening. In our discussion today, it is our intention to ease your pain through examples for you to learn from, and as such, allow your heart to shine more. Dear ones, it is an evolution of consciousness, nothing more. Your eyes mislead you. You see what you refer to as grown-ups, and as such, you assume that they have a certain level of consciousness. That is incorrect, dear ones. The vast majority of the human population upon Earth has the same level of consciousness as that of a young child. Their bodies matured and changed, but their level of consciousness did not. As such, dear ones, we ask you to place your hands upon your heart center and breathe into it with love and compassion for all beings upon earth. For all are on a mission to seek self-actualization. However, most have no examples to lead them. This is what we ask of you now, dear beautiful children of Source God. We ask you to show humanity and the animal kingdom what is consciousness. Let us provide you a couple examples that have assisted our channel. Let us also offer to you now one further example. Imagine, if you will, a young child who was playing in the woods becomes terrified of a bear that was chasing it, and the child found shelter from the bear. Is there anything you could possibly say to that child that would convince them that they do not need to be fearful and they should leave their shelter? No, dear ones. That child is stuck in fear. This is why there is nothing you could ever say to anyone to help them wake up, so to speak, because they are stuck in a level of consciousness that is overrun with emotions and behaviors, oblivious to conscious thought. What would happen if you decided to go inside that shelter with the child? Would that help the child to convince them to leave the shelter? No, dear ones. If you went inside that shelter with the child, they would hold on to you and not let you go, and scream if you left the shelter you would be harmed. This is why you cannot ever lower yourself to try to help someone else up from where they are. If you are with a human who is crying out for your help because they see you are consciously evolved and they are not, they will hold on to you and not let you go. Nor will they be willing to help themselves? For all they are actually wanting is comfort and are hoping you will do the emotional work for them. What would happen if you saw the child in the shelter crying in fear and you carried on throughout your day directly outside of the shelter? Maybe you cook a meal out there. Maybe you sing songs out there. Maybe you dance and play out there. What would happen to the child? Eventually, the child would stop crying and watch you. They would be wondering why nothing bad was happening to you. And then, eventually, maybe days, maybe months, maybe years, the child would eventually leave the shelter and come join you. Hesitantly at first, but after seeing you shine your light and lead by example and show that it is safe, the child would eventually build up the courage and level of consciousness to move past the wall of fear. This is why, dear ones, we ask you to shine your light. This is why, dear ones, we ask you to lead by example. There is nothing you can ever say that will convince anyone to wake up. All you can do is offer your light as a guide. Live your life as brilliantly and beautifully as you possibly can, and give the gift of opportunities to learn to all those around you. Allow all to learn at their own pace, in their own way. Give them opportunities to experience things on their own, but live your life as an example. This life is to be magical, dear ones. Unpleasantness is only a state of mind. Show that to the others, still thinking as young children in their consciousness. You cannot convince a baby to walk, nor can you do it for them. It is something they have to figure out on their own. But they use you walking as an example of what to do. Allow the baby to fall down so they can learn to stand up. You cannot convince a young child how to build a gigantic building, nor can you do it for them and expect them to learn. It is something the child has to figure out on their own as they evolve in their life. But they use you as a master builder, as an example of what they want to become. Dear ones, we love you so much. We ask you to hold compassion in your heart for every single human you see, and love them as you would a young child. Be patient with them as you would a young child. Be generous with them as you would a young child. But most importantly, know that they will evolve when they are ready at their own pace. We leave you now in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator, Adonai.